Texas handling Clemson at home. Final score in Austin, Texas 38, Clemson 24. What can we learn about Texas? What did we learn about Texas, rather, going forward? We'll talk about all that right now. If you're a Texas Longhorn fan, though, you're just a college football sicko like us. Make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. Appreciate you for that. Also, get at me on the social platforms, Instagram, Twitter, at PicKell. Want to hear from you all there as well, so we appreciate that. So going into the year, what did we believe to be true about Texas? I thought Texas was a Ferrari. I thought they were going to be this sort of aerial assault operation with a projected first-round quarterback, and Steve Sarkisian's rocking sweet suits going into game day, and then he goes and dials up just sweet downfield pass plays. And we've seen like versions of that throughout the year. The Michigan game, they came out swinging against Georgia in that second round with the Dogs. But as much as I thought, and I think a lot of us thought, that Texas would be a Ferrari, Texas is a lot more Toyota RAV4, a lot more Hummer H2. They're a lot more this gritty, tough, off-road, punch you in the mouth, physical football team. They win on defense. They run the football. Their quarterback goes for right around 200 yards, and they win the ball game. And it feels more definitive than the scoreboard typically shows. But I think that's kind of who Texas is. Honestly, very vintage SEC, if you will. Let the defense cook, fly to the football, arrive with bad intentions, run the ball, quarterback, don't lose the game for us. Which is funny to say, as much as Quinn Ewers, I think, has some more juice in the tank. We'll talk more about that in a second. But like, if that's who you are, I think that's more than fine. Because guess what? Tough football teams at this point in the year, that's what wins. That's what travels. That's what's consistent. And so you take that part of who Texas is and you pair it with what we saw in this football game. Like, I think Texas overall, man, they just have some traits about them that, listen, I don't know if Texas is going to win the national championship. I can't sit here today and tell you based on that performance, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, that's who Texas is. But I think the traits that they've shown, especially in this game against Clemson, correlate with that of a national title caliber team. What I mean by that is Texas was very much so in a position where they could have maybe taken their eye off the ball a little bit, right? You have a couple of offensive linemen go down, most notably your leader up front in Jake Majors. He goes down. You're like, okay, what are we going to do? They didn't flinch at all. Still ran for right around 300 yards that day. Contravian Wisner, he goes down. Massive part of the operation. More or less, you're starting running back in this game. What happens? Jaden Blue rips off a 77-yarder to reassert your will on this Clemson football team. Like, I know that Clemson kind of got back into the game and cut it to a one-score lead at one point, but, like, Texas never batted an eye. Had the competitive maturity to not get tight, just hunker down, do what you do, be physical, and, like, that was the difference in the football game from what I can gather about Texas here going forward. So, like, would you have liked to see them be this team that they're throwing for over 300 yards every game and Quinn Ewers winning the Heisman Trophy? Yeah, that would have been cool to see. That would have aligned a lot more with our expectations of Texas. But with what they're doing right now, I think this might be the version of Texas that you need to have here going forward. Here's the other part of this, though, that I think is a little bit exciting if you're a Texas Longhorn fan. Everything I said about Quinn Ewers is still true about what he can be, right? Now, can be and are two different things, but we're not just projecting this about Quinn Ewers, and it's this hypothetical that, hey, one day Quinn Ewers could be this caliber of quarterback. You've seen it if you're a Texas fan. You saw it against Michigan. You saw it in Tuscaloosa last year. He still has that extra gear to him. So there's this part of you, if you're Texas, where you're like, hey, we're cool winning this way, but what if that other shoe eventually does drop for us on offense? And we pair it with our defense that statistically is like top 3 in every single category in college football. We're just mauling people. And we pair it with this offensive line that we just find a way to, doesn't matter the lineup, doesn't matter who we're playing against, we just find a way to impose our will. Like, at what point in time, when you add a quarterback to that, is it just like, all right, game blouses? Like, at that point in time, it's like, how do you beat Texas? Now, again, that's a little bit of a hypothetical, but I don't think it's the most reach of all reaches to say if Quinn Ewers plays at the level that you've seen him play at before, Texas is going to be in that national title picture even more so than they are right now. I know they're one of the favorites to win the whole darn thing as it sits right now in Vegas. So, Texas, I mean, were there some things you want to clean up across the board? Every game there are. But you got a college football playoff win against an ACC champ and a coach with a tremendous pedigree in Dabo Swinney that had that team, giving you their best swing and then some, Texas is going to be exactly who I think we believed them to be before the year in the sense of what they can accomplish. Looks different, but they still have, I think, that national title pedigree, and I am very excited to see what they do here against Arizona State in the next round. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section, on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, JD PicKell. Follow me there. More importantly, subscribe here. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.